today. Loads to talk about. We've got to start with Liverpool because there's a very, very good Liverpool source that we speak to at the Football Terrace, and I'm not going to reveal who he is because he'll get a lot of crap, but people do know him. Who shared a few links into the group chat there's a variety. One, that Isak wants to move to Liverpool. Two, that personal terms have been agreed. There's reports in Germany saying Isak is keen to the move and wants to join them this summer. And you know my views on this. The player wouldn't want to join and be keen if he didn't have an idea of squad status, number, salaries, etc. We know those conversations have taken place. But, and we'll start with it, we're going to go to Isak in a minute, but maybe more intriguingly, Ornstein bomb that Liverpool have contacted Frankfurt over a possible move for Ekitike. Fabrizio has also spoke about this, but essentially quote tweeted his news yesterday and said that Hugo Ekitike remains the other option on the list if you can't get Isak. But Hassam, what your club are essentially doing is saying to Newcastle, give us Isak or we're taking your man. Talk to me, bruv. You look as pleased as punch.
I'm very happy. This is I'll be honest with you. This is the biggest big boy move in the entirety of this transfer window. We went to Newcastle. I think even Mo said it on his channel yesterday. We went to Newcastle essentially, and we said we're either going to take your target or we're going to take your player. You decide, which one you want. You want to keep Isak? No problem. We're going to take the Isak replacement. He's going to leave anyway, and now you're left with nobody except like Sesco's and shit like this. Listen, at the end of the day, Isak to Liverpool would absolutely destroy the league. Like, that would just be completely unfair on the rest of the league. Isak, Wirtz, and Salah in the same team would be just abnormal, to be honest with you. And it's not just a Galactico feel to it. It's just something like next level. And to be honest, that's something that I've never seen Liverpool do in my lifetime, perhaps other than Fernando Torres, Thiago Alcantara, and this summer, of course, what's it called? Florian Wirtz. Other than that, we haven't been really that type of club that signs those players. For the most part, we sign very good players and make them elite players. That's basically what happened. Like when we signed Salah from Roma, he was very good. When we signed Mane from Southampton, he was very good, etc. The thing is, from my perspective, it's exactly verbatim what I said. There's literally clips of it. This is the internet. I have a YouTube channel. You can go watch it. I said we're going to go try for Isak. We're going to attempt to sign Isak. If Isak falls through, we're going to sign Ekitike. I stick by that. I haven't changed my opinion on that. I think that Liverpool Football Club is going to try to sign Alexander Isak. And if Isak does not want to join Liverpool, or if Isak doesn't give us the green light, or if Newcastle are asking for too much money, then our backup target will be Ekitike, which I will be very pleased with as well. Because as I've shown previously on this show as well, when I shared the screen and I explained it to you guys, I think Ekitike is a fundamentally sound footballer. Yes, his finishing isn't the best, but he's a fundamentally sound footballer. He's someone who keeps the ball well, someone who brings his wingers into play. His finishing needs improvement, but as a football player, he was he's an unbelievable football player. For me, with the Isak thing, look, it's very interesting, and it's not speculation. It's just us being objective, because at the end of the day, this is what we're saying, and Terry alluded to it when he first spoke on the stream. Look, Liverpool would not go and speak to Newcastle and attempt it if Isak just says no. And I watched Fabrizio's video yesterday, and Fabrizio verbatim said it. He said Isak did not close the door. So Isak is not putting in a transfer request or something, but he did not close the door. So he is verbatim, once again, what Fabrizio said is Alexander Isak is open to the idea. So he said Isak is open to the idea of joining Liverpool Football Club. And that's all we need. So now it becomes, once again, quoting Fabrizio, club-to-club negotiations. So Liverpool have made it clear we're going to pay 120 million, might be 120 plus 10 in bonuses, stuff like this, whatever it is. So, that's the price that Liverpool are willing to pay. If Newcastle refuse the bid, Liverpool then sign Ekitike and make Ekitike their starting striker, of which I am also very happy, because that's the guy that I wanted to join my football club from the start of the window. You guys asked me, who do you want to sign as striker? I said we're going to try for Isak, and if not, Ekitike. So I like them both. I think this is a massive big boy move, and it's a message to the rest of the Premier League that we're not messing around. And actually, here's my theory. If the Isak thing does not fall through, so let's say Liverpool don't sign Isak, right? Let's say the Isak stays at Newcastle and Liverpool get Ekitike. If Liverpool get Ekitike, I think that increases our chances of getting Rodrigo very highly. Because that money that we're talking about, that like 50 million difference, 40 million difference, 60 million difference, whatever, between the Ekitike price tag and the Isak price tag. Now, if Diaz does go to Bayern, the replacement is going to be Rodrigo. And guess what? Verts, Rodrigo, Ekitike, and Salah. Oh, I'll take my chances against anyone. I take my chances against anyone. So
100%. I wanna start by saying one thing. What Hussam said is something that we all knew, that Liverpool are going to try for Isak, and their second target is Ekitike. That is actually a public news. Hussam told me before a month ago that he would be very happy with Ekitike. That is very, very good. Ekitike is a very good player. But I actually look at it.
The way you say it rolls as well, bruv.
I'm going to tell you something, and I want Liverpool fans just strap. I actually think that Newcastle played Liverpool. Genuinely played Liverpool. They don't want to disrupt what is going on at Liverpool, at Newcastle. They want to start the preseason knowing who they got. So they went for Ekitike and they submit a bid, knowing that it will be rejected, and knowing that once they submit the bid, Liverpool are going to submit the bid for Isak. And Liverpool submitted the bid. They told him he's not for sale. So Liverpool went, and now they are going for Ekitike. So basically, Newcastle are going to keep their man, regardless of whether he's going to leave next season or not. Newcastle wanted to keep him this season. They were so clear about this. They said next season is a different story. It depends on what we do. So basically, they wanted Liverpool off their back. How did they do this? By making Liverpool scared about their first target and their second target. And basically, that is what happened. It took 24 hours of them rejecting Liverpool's approach for Isak to actually for Liverpool to go and now try to sign Ekitike. Of course, everyone is saying that Liverpool are trying to sign both. I don't think it's going to happen. Everything is possible in football. Liverpool might sell Diaz and Nunes and try to sign Ekitike and Isak, but that is unlikely, as my brother Hussam says. Basically, Newcastle put Liverpool in the box. It's either you go bid for Ekitike now, or you might agree for Ekitike and still not sell you Isak. And now you're being left with the likes of Cisco, Mateta, and other targets. Liverpool fans, of course, like Hussam, look at it from, I'm happy with Ekitike. Fair enough. I know you are, but you wanted Isak. But Newcastle hold all the cards. Not you, not Liverpool. Newcastle are the one that can get both players and tell Liverpool, no, we're not selling either of them unless Isak throw a tantrum. And it is reported that Isak said he's open to join Liverpool. Yes, open is different than I want to leave to go to Liverpool. That is so different, like what Eucharist did. Eucharist said, I'm not reporting to training, like what Harry Kane did for Man City. You know what I mean? I want to leave. I'm not reporting to training. Isak said, I am open to join Liverpool, and rightfully so. No one will sit here and tell me that Newcastle is more attractive than Liverpool. You'd be stupid to say this. Liverpool in the short term are way more attractive than Newcastle. But in the same time, Newcastle hold all the cards. Basically. That is my opinion about the move.
Can I rebuttal it now? Okay, now let me rebuttal your completely stupid opinion. So the reason why I think it's a stupid opinion is the following. Is who the football club that are doing this is. Your opinion would hold weight if it's Arsenal. Your opinion would hold weight if it's Real Madrid, if it's Bayern, if it's blah, 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 blah. The reason why I call it a stupid opinion is because we're talking about Newcastle United. We're not talking about an elite football club. Once again, Hugo Ekitike is not going to leave a Champions League playing football club next season as the starting striker in a World Cup year to go play second fiddle to Isak at Newcastle United. We're talking about Newcastle here. With all due respect, we ain't talking about Man United, we ain't talking about Chelsea, we ain't talking about Liverpool. We're not talking about the biggest clubs in the world. We're talking about Newcastle United. So the reason why that point doesn't hold water is very simple. Ekitike and Isak will not exist in the same club. Very simple point, and it's the same point that I made this Sunday. I told you on Sunday, and I repeat now, when a reporter makes news, when a journalist makes news, we have to read the news and we have to deduct using logic and reasoning what exactly are they saying. Ornstein is not going to put out a tweet and say, by the way, guys, Liverpool are going to sign Ekitike, Newcastle are going to sign Ekitike, so Isak's going to fuck off now. Like, no one's going to say that. So obviously he has to put out the, they want to play Isak and Ekitike together, but everyone knows that that's bullshit. I've already made the bet with the people publicly. I said that if Ekitike and Isak are the same club in terms of like Newcastle at the end of this transfer window, I'll do a whole stream with a tank top. This tank top, not even the ones that people wear outside, the underwear tank top, what they call the wife beater. That's what they call it. So I'll do literally a whole stream with it. That's how certain I am, because I'm just being completely logical. Number one, Newcastle are not going to play 4-4-2. Me and Mo agree on this. There's no need to discuss it because obviously Elanga, Gordon, right mid, left mid, that's not going to work. Number 2, Hugo Ekitike has played 4 games out of 124 in his career, left wing. And Newcastle also, once again, have signed Elanga, Anthony Gordon. They also have Harvey Barnes. They've also got Jacob Murphy. So they're not going to sign a player like that for 80 million to play left wing when they've got other priorities they need to handle, like centre back, like goalkeeper, like positions like this. And number 3, we're talking about the caliber of football club. If Real Madrid tomorrow call Ekitike and say, we want you to be backup to Mbappe, he will say yes and he will sign the contract immediately. Newcastle United don't have that power. They don't have that pull. That's why the scenario that I said at the start of the stream is the truthful scenario, because it's completely logical and rational, and it's just reasonable. At the end of the day, we went to Newcastle. Isak, do you want to join? How much do you want, Newcastle? Okay, you guys want for too much money? No problem. We'll go get Ekitike. That's it.
Someone saying my opinion is the true is actually the
keep something in mind. I'll just say final point. Keep something in mind. Since the start of the window, Ekitike is a player that has been linked to moves, and even Terry will tell you this, to Liverpool, to Chelsea, to Manchester United, to some of the biggest clubs in the world as the starting striker. In a World Cup year, he's not going to say no and go play bench for in Newcastle. It's just not going to happen.
Do you believe Liverpool can sign Isak and Ekitike? I just wanted to get your opinion together.
To be honest, no.
Okay, great. At least you're consistent about this.
We can do it, but it's like 2%, 3%. I just don't see it.
The thing about it is that if Newcastle sell Isak to Liverpool for 120, they're really suckers, to be honest. Really suckers. Like
I even told you the price tag, Mo. Am I lying?
You said 120, 130 plus 20 add-ons. That's what he said. And he's actually reported true. But the reality is, if Newcastle keep their man Isak and Liverpool get Ekitike, in my opinion, Newcastle won. Because Newcastle wanted to keep Isak. Did Liverpool win? We're yet to see this, because it depends how much Ekitike does in the Premier League. He's a very good player.
Newcastle lost long term, though.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. I think maybe in the short term you can say Newcastle win, but if Isak refuses a new deal and then next summer goes to Barcelona for potentially less money, this is the one thing I think Newcastle got to be careful about here. And this is the one question mark over Isak. Some people go injury record. Could it get worse as he gets older? Let's say he has a bad year of injuries and then goes into the last 2 years of his contract. You ain't getting 120, 130 next summer for him.
Nope.
So there is this element of they're a smart and well-run club. I don't think Newcastle hold all the cards either, because in an ideal world, Newcastle want both players. And if they refuse to sell Isak, I don't believe that Hugo Ekitike is going to turn down Liverpool for Newcastle. That's why I don't see them holding all the cards. I think Liverpool have got them between a rock and a hard place here. It's essentially, if you don't give us our main target, we'll buy your main target, who's our second choice. But it's a second choice who will still help Liverpool most likely win the league.
Yep.
The problem is for Newcastle, they've got to think, and this is one thing for football fans, we do this all the time. I've had a lot of stick the last 24 hours for saying I don't like the idea of paying off Sancho and maybe other players like a severance package to make them leave the club, because I believe that makes them feel like they've won, and I believe that helps player power prolong. The short term, I get the need. Are they gone? We save the wages, they spend it on new players, and I get the short-termism. But this happens at my club a lot, and that's because my club has got disgracefully bad owners and has been run terribly for years, and I think Newcastle are the opposite. Well-run clubs don't play drafts, they play chess. They look further down the road, and they assess all the pitfalls, all the problems. And Mohamed Kudus is a prime example. 80-odd million people were prepared to pay a year ago for him. West Ham went, no, 100 mil. Just went for 50. Because 1 year late, the world changes. And as good as Isak is, right? And I think he'll do an amazing job at Liverpool. And I think he'll score 20 plus, 20, just over 20 league goals a year. Maybe a little bit more because they're a better team. But at the same time, I look at the fact that Arsenal are about to get Gyökeres. Like, Isak got 23 league goals last year, okay? And he's got, he's a very, very good player. But do I think when you think about 120, 130 million, is he really 2.5 to 3 times better in terms of putting the ball in the back of the net than a Gyökeres. Do I think?
Yes.
How many goals do I think Ekitike would score for Liverpool next season in the league? 15, 16. Isak might get 10 more league goals. That's why I think they'd be mad to turn the money down, because I actually think you put Ekitike into that good Newcastle team. I don't think you're going to drop goal-wise, but I think he can score 15 league goals for you. And then all you need is the likes of Alanga and then the other money you invest off of there to make up those goals. I don't even think Newcastle fall off losing Isak. I just don't believe it.